moments of the season, and here's hoping you had a joyful, if not restful, festive holiday. In this video, I'm going to be talking about luxury products and services I highly recommend buying or taking up in your 40s. It's a video where I'm going to be talking very much from my own personal experience. I'm going to be 46 in a couple of days' time, and I'm going to be chiming in with my own examples, my thoughts, what's motivating me, and so forth. And it's all within the ethos of my channel: buy better, buy less. If there's any key takeaway I would like you to make from this video, in fact, there are two key takeaways. The first is quality. In your 40s, 50s are very similar, and then 60s, 70s, 80s, they're a little different. But going forward from this point, I'm all about quality. Buy the very best you can afford. I'm a glass half full as opposed to half empty. Is it the beginning of the end or the end of the beginning? But it's the time where you have to just enjoy yourself. And the second key takeaway is experiences. I'm not focused on material possessions. It's something that I have no interest in at all. I have things I like, all the things I need. I have tried to buy the best I can afford. But the focus for me now in my 40s is very much about experiences. Money I'd otherwise have budgeted for material possessions, it's focused on experiences, because I feel that is where the magic is from 40. I have been asked to talk about luxury items by men as well. The video is coming, please bear with me. It's coming, it's in the pipeline. But the previous videos, which I'll include at the end of this video, the entire playlist, they are applicable to men and women, the recommendations I make for the different age groups. I'm Anesu Sagonda, and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on quality under the radar brands, or you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, then my content is geared towards you. I'm going to start with services and then move on to products and then finish with experiences. When it comes to services, the first I would recommend is a good hairdresser. If you haven't got a good hairdresser already, then it's something I highly recommend. A good hairdresser isn't something I've had, more so because my focus has always been on wearing my hair in protective styles, whether it's braiding it or using hair extensions, for example. But one thing that the women in my family struggle with is thinning hair, particularly on the top. And although my hair is not thinning at the moment, I have noticed that when I'm shampooing my hair, the back of my head is definitely fuller than the front. But in terms of visually, it's not something you really pick up on. But I know, looking at the women in my family, that in another 15, 20 years time, it's something that I will notice more and more. And so getting a good hairdresser, going for regular treatments, I focus on getting a moisturizing, a nourishing treatment every 3 weeks. And I've started to notice the difference it's making to my hair in terms of just thickening it, lengthening it, and just making my hair incredibly healthy. The second is very good skincare. Again, something that I have been a little complacent with, more so because I have been blessed to have fairly forgiving genes. And when I've looked at my grandmother, my mother, and how they're aging, I've pretty much taken my cue from them, and they haven't really had any skin issues as such. So it's something I haven't really focused on. But what I have noticed is, more so from my friends who are pretty much 50 and above, they are focused on seeing a dermatologist and having a new anti-aging focused regime. So it's something I'm exploring, but I don't necessarily feel I need to do something drastic because my skin has been fairly good. I've been lucky in that I really haven't had too many issues. But what I'd also like to suggest at this juncture when I'm talking about skincare is, if it's something that is worth exploring for you, I've mentioned this before, white skin, Asian skin and black skin is different. The more melanin you have, the typically better you age, unless of course you have extenuating circumstances that have made you age a lot quicker. But the issues you get, the skin issues you get in black skin are different to Asian and also to Caucasian skin. So it's worth seeing a dermatologist who's focused, who's specialized on your particular skin type. So it's something I want to do, maybe get some pointers or just approval that keep doing what you're doing, it works. Ever since I started my channel, I've had to start wearing makeup, something I rarely did. The most amount of makeup I wore was mascara and then filled out my eyebrows, and that's it. But when you're on the other side of the camera, the lighting and everything else is not so forgiving. And I tend to wear a little more makeup just to give a more refined silhouette. But I would always recommend, especially someone like myself, someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, getting very good quality makeup. You're not wearing a lot of it, but what you are wearing, it's the best. And bearing in mind, your skin is also changing. Still within the general skin world, supplements. It's something I've been asked about on numerous occasions, whether I take supplements, and I don't. And that's very much a personal thing, because I believe if you have a varied enough diet, as little processed food, clean, freshly prepared food, you'll be fine. And that's something that I've done all of my 46 years of existence. And I've never had anything happen or have a reason to see my doctor because I felt I was deficient or showing some sort of symptom. And I'm going to keep doing that. But what I have noticed, and which has made me really pay attention, is my friends, and in particular my black friends who are now 50 and above, are taking particularly collagen supplements. I'm very basic. I think if you drink really good organic bone broth, you get the same benefits. But that's me personally. But it's something that's made me think, because I look at my peers and how they're aging and also glean nuggets from them as to what I can do better. But for me personally, no. But if you're somebody as well who has health issues or concerns, possibly your skin is starting to thin, you have issues with your bones and so forth, these sort of things happen with different races. By all means, consider it, because there is the change of hormones from 40 and above, and that affects skin, for example, and hence I mentioned seeing a dermatologist and also taking supplements, because the hormones trigger certain changes in your body. And as a way around it, supplements, if they're appropriate, definitely go for it. But it's something I'm just going to stave off for as long as possible. I'm based in the United Kingdom, as most of you know, and from the ages of, between 40 to 70, the government, through the National Health Service, offer everyone health checks every 10 years. I had mine at 40 and luckily passed it with flying colors. But what I would recommend, and this is a real luxury, if you can afford it, having a detailed medical check every 5 to 10 years. You get a series of tests run and you're able to see how you're aging and get suggestions of how to help yourself. And I have clients who do this and swear by it. And you can combine it with a health holiday where you can also lose weight, get in good shape, you have facials, massages, but you also have detailed medical tests. So it's something I always recommend, particularly in your 40s. Catch anything as it's happening or do things that are more preventative than curative. Also within the same vein, 40s, as I've mentioned, change in hormones, I would recommend, if you can afford it, seeing a hormone replacement therapist. Particularly before you start menopause. I'm not yet menopausal, but in the next 2 to 3 years, it's something that I'll definitely consider. That way I'm forewarned, it gives me time to reflect on what I've been told and prepare. So I won't be in a position where I'm forced to do something that I might not necessarily agree with, but I know my facts before menopause kicks in. Moving on to products. As I mentioned right at the beginning, as I'm getting older, I'm becoming increasingly less materialistic. But there are still a few things that I still would like to buy. Some as a one-off, once I'm done, that's it. And then others ongoing. Every so often I add to my collection. But when it comes to things, physical products, it's very much a personal thing, depending on what you like, your lifestyle, your taste, and so forth. But what I'd always say, until I'm literally blue in the face, is focus on quality. Buy better and you invariably buy less. And it frees up money for you to spend on experiences, for example. So the things I'd still like to buy, ongoing, clothes. But I have to caveat that by saying mid-40s, I came to the realization, I'd been putting it off and ignoring it for years, that I actually don't like shopping. Contrary to popular opinion, women and shopping, I've never really been somebody who likes shopping, and more so shopping with people. It took me years to realize I don't like shopping with people. I'd rather shop on my own. But now I know I actually don't like shopping. But I've done a couple of things to help myself. The first, in Conversations Over 40, I'm going to attach the playlist above. I spoke about working hard to maintain my weight. I've been pretty much the same weight for the last 25 years. And what I did from the very beginning in my 20s is buy quality. So I have a lot of clothing items that I've been wearing for the last 15-20 years. So I don't really have a need for new clothes. But going forward, enjoying experiences, I want to dress up, I want to wear something new, add a bit of variety to my wardrobe, or there might be a special occasion, in which case I will buy the odd piece here and there. But the focus, as I've been saying, will very much be on quality. There's a very small, very well considered selection of brands I really like, and I look forward to talking about them in the future. I have been asked to talk more about clothes, putting together outfit combinations, and I didn't get a lot of traction in the beginning, but now I'm beginning to, and I will talk about a number of brands, and I'm excited about that because the focus is very much on the phenomenal craftsmanship, the detail in the item, the quality of the materials, the fit, how it wears, how long it lasts. You really get to see and appreciate firsthand what you are paying for. So I look forward to doing more of that. The second is, over the last 20 years, I've worked really hard to build an incredibly strong network of young men and women in the different stores, department stores, brands, who keep me up to speed with what's going on, who know my style, my budget. And when they see something they think I may like, they'll send through a picture. If I like it, they'll send it to my house. I try it on. If it works, I'm charged. If not, I send it back to the store. Those same connections have been great for my channel because they keep me up to speed with what's in fashion, what's going on, what's hip, and so forth. And I will rely heavily on them for a lot of my fashion videos going forward, putting together outfit combinations and just talking about brands. So I'm incredibly excited about that. Looking at products that I'll be buying as a one-off, there are 3 categories: power bags, jewelry, and timepieces. Timepieces I've already spoken about in my 2021 wish list, which I'll attach above. Jewelry, I think, well, based on my own style, I think there's a very small range of basic styles you should have when it comes to jewelry. For example, studs, gold, silver, pearls, diamonds, for example. And I'll talk about that, particularly in the next video. So I don't want to preempt that too much. It'll be my luxury wish list for 2023. And I want to talk about some of the styles I think you should have, fantastic brands that do that particular style well, and what I will be buying, because once I've bought the perfect studs, that's it. I'm not adding, I just keep wearing them and enjoying the studs or whatever it is I've bought. And then the power bags, I'm somebody who literally gets anxiety attacks when I see handbag reviews or hauls where people are buying a lot of handbags. It's something that I've never grown up being exposed to or doing, buying a lot of bags and then you sell them and buy something else. I've always been of the opinion, and this is how I am going forward, is to buy a bag, buy the very best I can afford and enjoy it. Wear it literally to death or until I've given it to somebody else and then replace that bag. I personally don't believe in buying bags as an investment and then selling them on. What I believe in is every man and woman who carries a handbag should buy a selection of 6, 7, possibly 8 handbags that work with their lifestyle, their needs, and they buy the very best that they can afford and just enjoy that bag and wear it all the time. So I look forward to talking about power bags I would like in my collection, and that will also be part of my 2023 wish list. So I'm excited about those 2 products. And then of course timepieces, as I mentioned, a couple of good timepieces, a date night watch, and an everyday watch, which I've already spoken about before. Last, but by no means least, experiences. The incredible memories you're creating, spending time with your nearest and dearest, or experiencing something on your own, the laughter, the joy, the memories that are etched in your mind that you can keep coming back to again and again. They just don't get old. Versus, for example, physical products. You can only have so many items of clothing or shoes. They go out of fashion. You get bored of them. There just comes a time where it's just things, but the memories are everything, particularly when it's people who you don't see anymore. Maybe they are late, or people who are far away. They live a considerable distance, but experiences are everything. And I'm always looking to the next experience, saving for the next experience. It's never about the next jacket or top, because there comes a point in your life, which is now for me, where I realize it's just physical things. The memories, the time, the bonding with people, doing experiences, enjoying something, learning something is absolutely invaluable. And it's something that until you have a mindset shift, and I would like to think it comes with age, with maturity, with experience, you start to realize that physical things are just things. You will never have enough clothing items. There will always be a better clothing item. But experiences are absolutely everything. And it's something that I'm so focused on, and it makes me happy. I learn new things. I create memories that I'm always coming back to time and time again. But that's my list of luxury items, products, services, experiences that I think you should be experiencing in your 40s. As always, fine-tune it to what you like, your budget, for example, your circumstances in life. But your 40s are very much about just enjoying yourself, having a good time at whatever it is you enjoy, buying the best you can afford, and just reaping the benefits of quality. Any other questions, as always, let me know in the comments down below. But I look forward to seeing you all again soon in the next video when I'm talking about my luxury wish list for 2023.